Invincible.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year, welcome to 2024 you saucy specimens, and welcome back to the Blackout Racing League. New year, same chaos, at least that's what I'm told. We're back today for, as you can see, according to El Calendar, the Portuguese Grand Prix. Also, it's a sprint weekend, so that could get interesting, and technically the final round of the calendar, except it isn't, and I'll explain. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. Now, I say technically, it's because it isn't, in fact, the final round of the championship. Sounds confused. Well, let me explain to you exactly what we're talking about here. Basically, this week is what would have been the first two. Well, first two. I'm still not with it. New year, and I'm out of it already. Anyway, the point is, Portugal and Japan were supposed to be the last two rounds of the calendar, but actually, we had a few races that went horse all over the floor, is the phrase I'm going to use. Those being Spain, Australia, and one other one that I cannot remember. It is Brazil. That was it. Of course it was Brazil, because I had to make my own race results. That was a fun time, wasn't it? But it means championship stipulations. It means Thanassi hasn't won, which gives the rest of the grid hope. So, basically, there's a maximum of 173 points remaining. If Terziak can go into the final week less than 99 points behind Thanassi, then he can theoretically win the title. Because Thanassi might not be able to make the last week, which, like I said, gives Terziak a little bit of hope, which could get very spicy. So, with our optimism absolutely overflowing, let's preview the two races ahead of us. Portimao, I'll be honest, can't remember what happened. I think there was Timalele and Thanassi contact, to be honest with you. Wouldn't surprise me. It happened quite a lot towards the end of last season, but here we are. There is no Timalele to come into contact with Thanassi, or vice versa. There's a Terziak, though, so it's the battle of the top T's once again to see who can come out on top. Otherwise, there's a spicy battle going on for third in the Drivers' Championship still. Could get interesting, although Milo has been supremely consistent, getting podiums constantly. And for those of you that are asking, no, I am not driving this weekend. I'm leaving it to the professionals. I might join in the last week, depending on how results go, but I will try not to influence the championship battle. Like I'm fast enough. Anyway, I'm the Optimism Overlord. Who knows what could happen? We're going to have a few minutes, and then we will be underway with the first round of the evening. Right, everyone. Don't adjust your sets. Why would you? Because it's Blackout. It's actually really insulting. Why would you do that? We are just waiting to get underway with racing. I think we're getting started soon. This is good news. I hope we are. I'm ready and raring to go, for lack of a better term. And actually, I put myself down earlier when I said that I'll play next week and not get in the way of championship fights. Actually, my gameplay videos I've driven quite well. That's been me preparing for my redemption arc in the Blackout Racing League. But that will not come this week. That's for certain. Oh, Magico. Thanks, husband. I'll most likely crash and... well, hopefully not. I hope it doesn't come to that. But if it does, it'll be good to have you on board. But I hope it doesn't and that you score some big points. And perhaps other people can fall by the wayside. Who knows? That is the... That was the unmistakable beep of a race weekend about to begin. Instead, all I've been met with is a crippling bout of depression, because that is not what's happened. So instead, I'm going to stop Spotify, and I'm going to briefly run down how this week of Blackout is going to go. Firstly, Jamie Tarquin has a field full of cows, or sheep. Apparently they switch round, I don't know. So I have absolutely no apology in place. I have no apology at all, in fact, in case I do make an accidental slip on the cow and sheep front and interpolate some of that language into my commentary today. I have no apology for that whatsoever. Secondly, in terms of the collection of drivers, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got more drivers than you can possibly shake a stick at. As we head in to look at this wonderful lobby, we can't look at it because it's time for the sprint race at the Portuguese Grand Prix here in Portimao. It's kind of like the Spanish Grand Prix, but if someone put it through, well, if someone told you how to draw it down the phone, basically, that's what this track looks like. It's kind of Spain, but it isn't Spain at the same time. I hope that clears it up for you, as we're going to get underway in 30 seconds. There on the right, though, are your list of names for today. Magico, Milo, both the Bucks are here. Buck 20 is back. Welcome back, mate. Guardian's here. Dirkleton's here. I can speak. Big Sam, Slam, and a smattering of others are ready and waiting to potentially pick up the spoils here in the sprint. Let's find out. In the pit lane, here we are, looking at the sponsor. What fun. I'm going to quickly do something, and by that I mean go into there. Cool. So if in the possible circumstance, and I hope it doesn't come down to that someone does crash and have a skill issue, they can join me in the commentary booth. In the most sane channel name in the world, which I won't tell you. But I'll let you figure that one out for yourselves. Portugal then. Spot for overtaking mainly is the main straight. However, there is a chance into that left-handed hairpin after the first few corners, depending on how much traction you get off of that slightly off-camber left-hander, which is also uphill, which has even more elements of jeopardy into it. And I love jeopardy, so this will be fun for me to watch. The crowd are absolutely beside themselves with light, I guess. There's no delight about it. They've been delighted in another sense, I suppose. They look like they're about to jump off the pit gantry, to be honest with you. Anyway, not anymore. It's sprint time. 5 red lights. Lights out in 2024. Away we go. And Raiden has had an absolute shocker of a start. King Didi and Vulcan's absolutely flown off into Narnia. King Didi and Vulcan is a Haas 1-2 after the first corner. You can't write stuff like this as Maximus makes his way up into P3. Milo's had a problem. He's had a spinner-rooney. Luckily, he's managed to pivot the right way around as Jamie Tarquin, well, his start wasn't strong enough, and unfortunately, he has a 5-second penalty to his name. No safety cars, though, as Big Sam looks to get past Vulcan, who was in P2. Now all the way down in P6. He's having a tussle with Slammer Jam as they head through the right-hander, holding it round the outside, but a robust defence from the Haas man means that the Mercedes Maestro has to wait in when ready, but Vulcan's going for a move on Raiden. All kinds of chopping and changing as Slam goes down the inside and gets a nibble of the diffuser of Raiden up ahead. I told them to keep it off the track, but sometimes when you're feeling zesty, you just got to get on with it. Buck 20 then, on the move as well, in P8. Keeping a close eye on proceedings, and Thanassi's just behind him. Already, the top championship man is absolutely flying on the soft tyres. There's a bit of a toss-up between softs and mediums. In the case of Buck 20, he's gone for mediums. Thanassi on the softs and saving battery rather wisely, as there was very, very tetchy goings-on between Slam and Vulcan. Vulcan seemed to chop off the Mercedes driver, almost a plane crash, as Thanassi goes right round the outside because there's a spin. Raiden taken out by the Mercedes man. I have no idea what happened, to be honest, because it happened off my screen. So I'll leave your opinions up to you, really. As Thanassi now up into P6 already. Buck 20, who had made storming progress, now defending and racing against Slam as he goes down the inside. Guardian's gone for a little trip to the infield for some lawn mowing. And listen, I'm not going to question his pastimes, but in a Formula 1 race, it's kind of counterintuitive. Up at the front, though, it's a prancing horse versus the American Dream. The bald eagle versus the Italian stallion. As up the hill they go. Speaking of horses, Maximus would do well not to make a foal of himself up the front, if you know what I'm saying. Round the final corner they go. No DRS active just yet because it's lap 2. Once King Didi crosses the line, though, it will be DRS open time. One man that won't need it is Thanassi, though. Already through the final corner, onto the main straight. Easily breezes past Vulcan and up into P5. Goes the AlphaTauri driver. DRS enable, and Magico's now up because King Didi's had a massive problem. What on earth's happened there? He's either insanely overcooked it, or there's been some kind of skill issue. King Didi's left the session. I have no idea why, but now Thanassi's up into P3. My husband's in P2. Do it for the power couple, Magico, please. I'm not there to defend you on the track. I can only... The power of words can only do so much of it. It's up to you. As Buck 20 ascends into P9. It's still not points, though. Same sprint points as in real life, so 8, 7, 6, etc. until you get to P8. Buck 20 has one more place to get before he can gain championship points from this event. Terziak in all of this, though, down in P12. No idea what happened. It was... Oh, no, it's not coming together. A little bit loosey-goosey on the rear end. But luckily, the ugly duckling will blossom back into the beautiful swan. And he will keep it together. And we'll have ample DRS on Slam. Meanwhile, it's Thanassi who will have DRS again. Almost pushing Magico through the final corner. Fastest lap of the sprint race. Into P2. A roller coaster ride towards turn 1. And before you know it, Thanassi is absolutely launched from practically last on the grid all the way up to first. Slam there, Guardian actually making moves. My apologies. Up past Raiden he goes. Raiden, good to see Raiden back. It's been a hot minute. Raiden and King Didi, who started at the front, now P14 and 15. That's how cruel sprint races can be. As Buck 20 does get past Dirkleton. Big Sam's looking for a psychological advantage as well. Round the outside, has the inside for the next section, but Dirk just ahead. Manages to chop off the Red Bull driver. And he's going to have to sharpen his horns and go again into the next section, but not before Terziak has something to say about that. Goodness me, he is all over Big Samuel. Called him Big Goat 229 many a time. But he's going to have to pull out all the stops today to stop Terziak thundering through. One man who will surely thunder through. It's almost academic, really. The anticipation is building, but how much anticipation can really build? Because he's easily going to surge past another fastest lap. And that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, is P1 for Thanassi. An academic move with DRS. Easily breezes past Maximus. The Italian stallion did everything it could, but unfortunately it looked like a ketamine-infused stallion compared to Thanassi. Well, he's in a war machine in comparison, absolutely flying, picking out his opponents one by one, picking them off, and going on the FBI's most wanted list, but that won't stop him from gaining the championship points. should he not make a mistake. Further down the field, though, Terziak into P10. It was going to happen sooner or later. Stark, though, going for the battle with Giraffe up into P5. I saw that round the outside of the right-hander. Very neat little move indeed. That's thoroughly impressive. You love to see it. Blackout Racing, known for many things. Also known for having better racing than some other top league racing firms, as Jamie Tarquin's now put in the fastest lap of the race with 1 minute 17.8. But in fairness, he is practically in Madrid compared to Portimao. So that's understandable as to why. As we look now back to the front, Maximus actually keeping within DRS of Thanassi. Might not be over yet, but he does have significantly less battery. But it will, crucially, prize him away from the clutches of my husband in P3. If you're tuning into this wondering why Magico's my husband, you know what? It doesn't need explaining. Things happen for a reason. And we blossomed into a beautiful little flower. And Magico will have to blossom into something even bigger than that if he's going to defend his P3. Because not only has he got Vulcan harrying his rear end, which I'd follow the restraining order right now if I were you. Buck 57 trying to get past Mr. Giraffe. Oh, good lord, there's an almighty spinneroonie into the sandbox. There you go. And, well, sunbathing opportunities for Buck 57. There's all kinds of chaos ensuing as we look down and through. Slam barges past Buck 57. That was an almighty collision. 3 wide certainly did not go. And now Terziak has been given a golden opportunity. He says, thank you very much, monsieur. I'll have a piece of that gâteau. Very sweet it is. And up into P7. DRS on Giraffe as well. Still Giraffe and Buck 20 probably regaining some composure from that incident. Terziak all over the Alpine man. I said that because he's all over himself. I'm such a knob. I meant he's on the rear end of Giraffe. You know what I mean. Doesn't even really need to get past if he doesn't want to, because Giraffe has a penalty. But Terziak won't let that stop him. He's got a point to prove. He's going to assert his dominance. And straight through down the inside into turn number 1. Thank you very much. P6 now. There's Buck 20 again now. All over the long-necked monsieur. No, he's not, because Giraffe has gone astronomically wide. Dirkleton now trying to have a piece of the action. He did get a piece of the action. Giraffe had a piece of the beach and is now down to P10. Not good at all. Vulcan and Stark fighting away, though. Again, round the outside. Surely not. Surely yes, but he goes a little bit wide. And Vulcan now side by side as they go down the hill. If you think Thorpe Park is good, think again. Just go to Portimao and have a drive round there. But now the outside line should play into Stark's favour. Does keep it in the white lines. And P4 belongs to the Aston Martin driver. Thank you very much indeed. And Giraffe with another time penalty for track limits. Oh, dearie me. Haven't paid much attention to the back, and Milo is having an absolutely torrid time down in P15. What on earth happened there? Of course, he did have the spin at the beginning, so that could be some kind of a contributing factor as to why. But we're on the last lap of the sprint already. Just like that, at the flicker of a synapse, the turn of a dart. I don't know what I'm going for here. The flick of a synapse, I'm sticking with that. But the point is, before you can even blink twice, the sprint race is done and dusted. And providing he doesn't completely screw the pooch, he's done it again. Thanassi has done it again. And it's the age-old argument of picking your battles when it is wise to do so. It's not a case of when or where, it's also how you go about executing them. What kind of lines do you take? What kind of mistakes do you force your opponents to do? Do you wait for them to make their own mistakes? That's all part of the mental game of this motorsport. And this man keeps playing it to absolute perfection, as he has done pretty much for most of this season. And since, well, a few rounds ago, where it all seemed to be hanging on by a thread, he rounds the final corner. And you'd better believe it, he is going for the championship crown this weekend. He is not leaving any scraps for anyone else. Thanassi rounds the final corner to win the sprint race in Portimao. An absolutely superlative drive in Portimao. Maximus can hold his head extremely high, and my husband is in a podium position. P3 for the Red Bull driver. A fantastic effort. Stark in P4. Terziak ends off in P5 with Buck 26th. Vulcan in 7th. And your last point scorer of the day is Monsieur Dirkleton. With Big Sam, well, in hot pursuit, but the hot pursuit was in fact not hot enough. It was more of a gentle prick of the skin as opposed to a third-degree burn. It's not quite the right wording, to be honest with you, but it's the wording I've done anyway. Big Sam put everything into his charge for P8, but it was not enough. All that remains is to wait for Mr. Tarquini to cross the line. And unfortunately, it was all utter nonsense in this sprint race. That's what he'll be thinking anyway. Last on the grid. It does determine the grid. We are running with technically 2022's rules on the sprint, but no one cares about that. I shouldn't have bothered saying that. Thanassi driver of the day, and rightly so. As we look at the results, let's see how far back he came from. The answer is from Narnia. P15 is how far back Thanassi started, and he ended in P1. 8 points to his name. Terziak in P5. The gap now 94 points between the two of them. Of course, this is only the first round of the night, and we do have two races to go and a qualifying session. It is not set in stone whatsoever. You better believe it. Well, there you go. Thanassi wins the sprint race. Congratulations to him and to Maximus and Magico for their efforts. Supreme job, all of you. Stark also, some lovely overtakes. Aesthetically, I am very satisfied. Terziak P5, Buck 26th. Vulcan and Dirk ran out your points. Big Sam, Slam Raider, Milo, King Didi, Guardian, Giraffe, Buck 57, Pathyman, and Jamie Tarquin. I haven't talked about Pathyman at all so far, I apologise. Hello Pathyman, I hope you're doing well. It also goes without saying, because I haven't said it already, but I'm going to say it anyway. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year's celebration. There's a reason we didn't do Blackout on New Year's Day, because I presume, well, one, people had plans, basically, and two, some people probably would have been quite smashed. So, but it would have made for some great chaos, so I wouldn't have complained personally. Anyway, staring at the pit lane again, the crowd goes mild, apart from one guy at the end of each row. God, he's absolutely loving it. He's never seen anything like it. F1 car sitting on a grid. Wow! It's the best thing I've ever seen! No, it is. Well, wait until they turn the engine on. You might faint, to be honest with you. What can we expect from this race, then? Well, providing there's no hiccups at the start, Thanassi should have control at the start. But, Blackout. Nothing is ever quite certain in Blackout Racing. That's what I've come to learn. That's what you've all come to learn. And that's, well, for those of you that are new, that's what you will come to learn come the next few races. 5 red lights in Portugal. Lights out and away we go after an interval of a Lord of the Rings film, but it's a good start for Thanassi on the medium tyres. Not too shabby at all. Magico's the man on the move though, trying to go round the outside, but Maximus has that covered. Stark could have the psychological boost and the momentum. He does have it. Down the inside of Magico he goes, as there's all kinds of battling going on. Terziak and Buck 20 going at it. Into P5, a bit of contact on the exit though. Stark up into P3, Milo already up into P10. Guardian in 11th, there's Jamie Tarquin in P16. Look at the amount of cars there are going into the hairpin. As Buck 57's had a little bit of a half spin there. Not ideal in the slightest, but we move, we carry on. As up at the front, Thanassi will set about eating up the miles on those medium tyres. Maximus, hopefully, well, with some kind of psychological advantage. Oh no! Pathyman and Giraffe. Well, Giraffe stuck his neck out or something like that. Had to say something about his neck. I hope people don't make that joke too often. It's not an insecurity. You have a nice neck, my friend. That's probably the weirdest thing I've said. Anyway, look, Giraffe's down in 17th. Pathyman in 18th. They've got work to do. Jamie Tarquin now. Goodness me. It's causing some kind of a tremor for the opposition. It's causing some kind of a milkshake as he moves up into P11. Fantastic stuff there. And he's herding the opposition in. As Thanassi, fastest lap because it's lap 1. Maximus keeping him honest. Remember, soft tyres versus mediums. There is some damage he can do. Milo already up into P8. Fascinating stuff. There's a yellow flag. What on earth's happened to Terziak? Massive problem. His fight with Buck 20 has ended in tatters. And the pair of them now 10th and 12th respectively. As I saw Terziak stranded on the outside. Must have been some kind of half spin. That is the risk you can run if you're not fully alongside. But then again, I didn't see it, so I can't cast judgment. It's Stark, though, that's beginning to pile on the pressure. 4/10 the gap between himself and Maximus. They head through the right-handers. Stark is one of the people I'd give my accolade to for most beautiful racecraft. He does have some very nice overtakes, it must be said. Round the outside of the right-handers, I must say, very satisfying. Sometimes it's not beauty that overtakes require. Sometimes it's simplicity. Or sometimes it's a bit of argy-bargy. Or sometimes, if your name's Senna or Schumacher, just send your opponent off into Narnia. No DRS on this lap. Milo is now in P5. Milo is having an absolute stonker of a first set of laps. Unbelievable from the McLaren driver. But Dirk, of course, with the slipstream on board with the Williams driver. The slipstream, though, not even slightly strong enough. I've spat into my microphone there horribly. Milo thought he had the momentum on Magico up ahead there on point of view. What a little camera angle we have of the fight up ahead. Dirk, of course, has a box office seat, as he actually has a box office seat to his own slide. Not ideal. Jamie Tarquin with DRS on Vulcan. I doubt there'll be too much of a stout defence. There isn't even a slightly stout defence. Absolutely breezes past the Haas driver and up into P7. As Buck 20 entered the pit lane, I was going to just say that before Milo feinted the move on Magico at turn number 1. I presume a front wing change onto the medium tyres. He goes. That has not been the ideal start for Buck 20 whatsoever, in case you couldn't tell. Up at the front, though, Thanassi with a 1.2 second gap. Stark, though, is beginning to lick his lips. He's beginning to have a little bit of a taste of P2 up ahead of him. And by that, I mean not inside his diffuser. Like I said, keep it off the track, lads. I don't want to hear that. But DRS will belong to the Aston Martin driver, and he'll be firmly within the realms of overtaking opportunity, because he is 4/10 behind. Milo behind as well. We will see as Magico dives to the inside of the track. Stark will surely have some kind of an opportunity. Nowhere near close enough. I'll tell you who is, though. Milo up into P4 he goes. What a start he's had. I keep saying it time and time again. Magico trying to dive his nose in, poke the nose into the inside, but Milo having none of it there. Keeping his composure, up into P4. What a thunderbolt of a start. Start going down the inside, though, of Maximus meanwhile. Maximus goes off the track, but Stark will easily inherit P2 of the Portuguese Grand Prix. He had it coming. He was cooking it for a while, and the casserole has come up to a boil. I don't know if that's how you cook casserole, but in Stark's case, he's cooked it up to perfection. Absolutely stewed and concocted an overtake of pure perfection into P2. Magico keeping Milo honest, and Vulcan a 10th behind Big Sam, but Terziak in P10 keeping them both extremely honest. And look how nervous the rear end of the Haas car was, defending to the inside and at the same time trying to attack. Big Sam kind of moves out of the way in sympathy. Terziak now has a front row seat to this little onslaught. A little bit of argy-bargy, trying not to hit each other's side pods, and now they've got them. No, they've brung themselves down. I was going to say brung themselves down to Terziak's level, but that's an insult to Terziak. There's down the straight he goes. It's going to be 3 wide down the straight briefly. Terziak chops past Big Sam, now gets past Vulcan. Big Sam down the inside of Terziak. As round the outside goes the Alpine man, and he has got past both of them. Fantastic overtaking and racecraft here at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Yes, I will admit there have been a few rocky moments, but still, when it has been good, boy, it has been good. And that's all I really care about. Dirkleton, Jamie Tarquin's now up to P6, by the way. As Mr. Milo actually got re-overtaken. I have no idea how that's happened, but go husband! That is fantastic. This is why we're married. Among several other reasons and more important reasons than just your racecraft. Lap number 5 of the Portuguese Grand Prix as I take a moment to gather my thoughts. Thanassi, your leader, 2 3/4 seconds, now nearly 3 seconds to the good, ahead of Stark in P2. Maximus keeping within DRS range, so he's done well to stay within the rear wing of Stark, who looked to have, well, much more the measure of the Ferrari driver. But Maximus keeping him honest, and with the number 3, will he send it like Rick Bobby? That is a question only I can answer. in about a few moments' time. Milo, though, will have a much, much easier time of getting past Magico this time, surely. He's done it once. He said that was nice, so I'll do it twice. Into P4 he goes. And now Magico will have to watch out behind because Jamie Tarquin won't leave any kind of overtake waiting. If he sees the gap, he'll go for it. You best believe, and the switchback on the left-hander. The momentum is vastly in Mr. Tarquin's favour. Down the inside. And I must say, that was a pretty bamboozling move, I must say. Anyway, enough of the puns. Jamie Tarquin into P5 and gets his composure comfortably through now. And the chase can begin for this little P2 battle. The gap now 4 seconds between Stark and Thanassi. Thanassi in, well, a different galaxy compared to everyone else. He's absolutely flying here. Terziak gradually reeling in Dirkleton up ahead. But there is now a Stark train. All aboard the Stark train. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a Stark train. Can't remember. It was several races ago now. But actually, no. No, it won't be. Because Milo and Mr. Jamie Tarquin are having a little tussle for P4. Who will come out on top? Well, the answer is Jamie Tarquin is DRS. So, well, surely it would be him. The man who plays on a controller and played with full traction control and was still that quick. And so decided, well, to try and turn off traction. Clearly hasn't affected him. Down the inside of Milo he goes. Into P4 as Milo has a huge snap on the rear end. Does well to catch it on the exit of turn 1. Magico, though, will be sniffing all over his rear end. Oh, stop that. We signed a prenup for this. I'm joking, we didn't sign a prenup. Love you, really. Jamie Tarquin in P4. For Ferrari are 3 and 4 in this race now, as the gap continues to grow and grow and grow. Considering Stark's a green car, the gap is, well, photosynthesizing, for lack of a better term. It's growing with the sunlight. Now nearly 6 seconds. Maximus keeping him still extremely honest. But I'm sure there is a plan. There's always a plan with Stark. And the answer is he has quite a significant chunk more battery. Thanassi's got full battery because, well, he just doesn't like letting anyone have fun. Understandably. I mean, he's got a championship to win. I don't blame him. Terziak's now joined the back of this little train, by the way. Here he is. A bit of a slide again out of the left-hander, though. The undulations of the Portuguese Grand Prix track can catch even the best in the Blackout Racing series out. It must be said. But now with DRS and very, very close within slipstream range and battery to boot, surely Terziak will snipe Dirk out of the water. But no, he won't. In fact, Dirk, with a great bout of straight line speed, keeps Terziak honest. And Terziak is going to be clutching at straws and waiting for another opportunity, feinting a move to the inside, try and throw Dirk off the scent of the racing line, where Dirk is like a rabid dog, and there's a big slide. It's a half spin for Terziak. Deary, deary me, another mistake creeping into the Alpine driver's race, as now Jamie Tarquin has gone right round the outside of his teammate, and now he can get after Mr. Stark. If there's anyone that can get after Thanassi, possibly providing a safety car is enforced as well, it's that man. Mr. Jamie... Oh, never mind, I'm watching Maximus. Jamie Tarquin did try and go for a move, but it was on the inside and he failed. Maybe some teamwork to play, though. Just give it a go. We saw how the Aston Martin boys did in Canada. That was fun. I had a good laugh, it must be said. Down the straight we go. Onto lap number 9 of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Very rapidly approaching halfway through this race. As surely Maximus will have it this time. Jamie Tarquin watching and waiting as he sees his teammate breeze past the Aston Martin driver. Start going wide at the apex as well. Possibly experiencing some significant tyre wear and problems. And going extremely wide on the right-hander was not part of the script. Jamie Tarquin runs rings round the Aston Martin driver. Up into P3. Ferrari are 2 and 3. The prancing horses are galloping into uncharted territory. Not in their history, of course, but in recent Blackout memory, it certainly is uncharted waters that they are trying to swim through. P2 and 3 here in the Portuguese Grand Prix. What a result it would be. Would be, because it's not nearly over yet. But you never know. You never know what could happen here. Stark seems to have regained some kind of composure. And will be surely back in full fighting force. As they head through the left-handers. Hell of a camera angle. The helicopter is on some acid. As we head through the right-hander. It's a good kind of acid, to be quite clear. I don't know why I say things, to be honest with you, but Jamie Tarquin, surely with DRS. Surely, again, it's just an academic proceeding, and the answer is it doesn't have to be academic because Maximus is into the pit lane. There we go, then. Let's see what tyres are strapped on to the wagon wheel of the Ferrari car. Mediums is the answer to that question, and the only sensible answer to that question. If it was any other tyre, you are dumb. Out into the race, Maximus will go. And let's see what kind of gap he can make for himself. Hopefully quite a big one. The answer is it is absolutely humongous because Guardian and the rest of them that did pit behind originally actually all come in as well. So there can be no risk of a hold-up. Buck 20 up into P13 meanwhile on his medium tyres. Has undercut pretty much everyone. Well, that's just pit, slam and coat, although they are on significantly fresher tyres. Jamie Tarquin. And I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Where is he? Jamie Tarquin's in P2. That's where he is. Hello. Are you pitting this lap? That was the question I was going to ask. I was going to ask when everyone else was going to pit. The answer is very, very soon. You don't want to be staying on these softs for too long, let me tell you. Unless your name's Thanassi and you're on mediums. And a bunch of others not on mediums, actually. It's a good time if you're on the medium tyres because the crossover is surely enforced. And you can have a wonderful, wonderful just slalom. Just a coast up to the back of the soft tyre runners. As into the pits comes Jamie Tarquin. Strapping on the medium tyres, only sensible solution. And out of the pits he goes. Magico also onto the medium tyres. Good choice there, husband. Out into pit row he goes. And Maximus, well, Maximus will surely have undercut Jamie Tarquin. If he hasn't, I'll be absolutely shocked. He almost might not have, you know. Jamie Tarquin going into turn number 1. It could get very grisly. Almost did. But kept well pinched to the apex. Maximus with no problems whatsoever. As Pathiman and Vulcan having a little scrape into the left-hander. Pathiman gets past, but has a bit of a slide on the exit. Means Vulcan can get the switch back on him. Lovely little bit of opportunism. And through into P7 he goes again. Meanwhile, it's Stark and Milo, who are within close quarters of one another. Close quarters combat. CQ seatings. Who's going to be the most solid snake out in the Portuguese? I can't think of an alliterative word, so we're gonna move on as they head through the right-hander. Surely this is their pit lap, otherwise they run a huge, huge risk of the undercut. If they were to go 2 laps more, they'd be mad, surely. Although madder things have happened, the answer is they're not that mad. Into the pits they go. Miller almost toboggans into the back of Stark's exhaust. And there's no room for that in this broadcast. We'll get blacklisted straight away. Into the pits is the battle of the pit crews. Onto the medium tyres, a very slick bit of pit work there. As Stark comes out of the pit lane, and yes, just ahead of Milo. In fact, they phased inside of one another. Luckily, the alien technology keeps both drivers safe and sound. As through goes Jamie Tarquin down the straight. That was the move you saw there between the Ferraris. They've got a great little undercut. 2.5 seconds worth of undercut compared to Stark and Milo. And that could be absolutely crucial in their crusade for big points in this race weekend. Lovely stuff there. Ferrari actually having a good strategy. That's how you know this is a video game. Let's put it that way. Up at the front. Well, here's your championship leader. Here's the man of the moment. Look at that. 15.5 seconds to the next driver. Absolutely out of this world. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. What on earth is going on there? I have no idea. Well, Terziak actually lost a bit of a gap to Dirk. Was well within DRS range for a little bit. Now it's nowhere near it. No idea why. But we move. It could help, actually, if I put the full track map on. There you go. I've done quite well considering I haven't had any spotting all race. Terziak into the pit lane, though. He knows he has good pace, and with an undercut, could prize himself ahead of that Williams driver, and then into the big time. Jamie Tarquin's got great pace, though. Absolutely thunderous pace. It's a purple pace is what it is. 118.9 on the fresh mediums. Absolutely flying. Terziak onto a fresh set of softs. Let's see where he filters out in all of this. The answer is it could well be behind Buck 20, who Magico has just got past. Through goes the Red Bull driver. Through goes Buck 20. Slam almost is getting onto the back of Terziak. He'll want to try and keep position ahead of the hard-shodden Mercedes runner. The answer is he will do just that. And now he can focus on what's ahead of him. And the answer is points up for grabs. Again, the Pathiman Vulcan battle continues to ramble on. Even Buck 57's on the back of this little battle. So they head up. It's such, like I say, it's such a roller, it's such a fairground attraction, the Portimao race circuit. So many undulations, the ups and downs. Well, it sums up most people's F1 race weekends, really. But none more so than at Portimao, where you are facing ups and downs the whole weekend. How about that? Thanassi still out in the lead. 18 seconds now, the gap. He's absolutely flying into a different continent. As Big Sam and Buck 57 come into the pit lane. What tyres will it be? If it's not softs, you're a fool. The answer is it is softs, you are not a fool. Buck 57 will surely do the exact same. We look to see what everyone else is up to. The answer is if you're Terziak, you are, well, right on the back of Buck 20 now, who himself is keeping, considering how old his tyres are, keeping within DRS of Magico is mightily impressive, it must be said. Through Sector 1 they go, though, and surely the superior traction of the soft tyres biting into the bitumen will be no more exemplary than now. As through the left-hander he goes, bit of ERS usage, surely a dive down the inside. It is a dive down the inside, a lock-up to boot, but surely an easy avenue past Buck 20, and it is indeed. Terziak into P10. Real life, that's points, unfortunately, well, actually, rather fortunately, in Blackout. P15 is where the last points are scored. We are a league of opportunity. So how about that? Your championship leader and race leader for this entire event is into the pit lane. Onto a set of soft tyres. And same for Dirkleton. And, well, Thanassi's going for the full Grand Slam this race. He's going to lead every lap. There's almost no doubt about that. Pathiman is getting past Jamie Tarquin, though. Go on, lad. Absolutely brilliant stuff. The Alpine with a bit between its teeth. The little bit of grit. However, he's gone extremely wide and Jamie Tarquin's just switchbacked him. That's a neat little move, but, well, that's rather anticlimactic, to be honest with you. DRS, though, for Patty's way too far back. I tried, ladies and gentlemen. Stark and Millo's battle still raging on. Millo with DRS at his disposal. Stark and him, it's a mental battle, this. A very mental battle, because they both have roughly the same battery, hardly using any as well. Basically countering each other, which is rather unbelievable. So then, the gap now reduced to 2.8 seconds at the front, and things can get tasty. Oh wait, Thanassi on softs. He's on fresh softs. Well, you never know. The softs could actually melt. We saw how quick Thanassi was on the mediums. I mean, true, everyone else was fighting, and he had clear track, and he's just insanely quick, to be honest with you. But you never know. The crossover could be Thanassi's downfall. I'm just trying to give anyone a fleeting glimpse of optimism. That's what I'm going for. Oh! Now, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, as Buck 57 has gone for a move there. As a Haas has caused a yellow flag briefly, but no more than for a few fleeting moments. He is now firmly back in the race, and King Didi can get on with his drive. Terziak now up into P7. The pursuit for Millo goes on. He's made moves on Buck 20 and Mr. Magico. We saw the move on Buck 20. Didn't see the one on Magico. I presume it was exemplary in textbook. And now the charge for even better settings continues. Giraffe, no! It's skating about. Gone for spots of lawn mowing and gravel shredding. But that is not, I repeat, it's not going to yield you decent lap time. I hate to tell you this. So rather unfortunately, it's emotional damage for the Mercedes driver. Big Sam, though, the battle could get interesting. He and Dirk are on pretty much the same lap-old tyres. By the way, just to exemplify, the 2-lap undercut, Dirkleton is now Oh, crikey. 7.5 seconds behind Terziak. Just from the undercut. And also because Terziak's a very quick boy, which would have a contributing factor. Thanassi predictably gets fastest lap. Who saw that coming? Raise your hand if you did. If you've raised your hand, you're a fool, because you should have seen that coming from a mile away. He really is going for the Grand Slam. He's going to come out this week a Blackout with the championship crown firmly still in his grasp. At least that is the plan. It's what he's endeavouring to do anyways. Magico is through on Mr. Pathyman, because Pathyman has only just come into the pit lane. Out he goes onto the track. He has the freshest tyres of anyone in the field, he and Giraffe. And he's going to be just behind King Didi. If my computer has a skill issue again, its family doesn't love it. But Stark and Milo, their battle's getting spicy apparently, or at least for a brief moment it did. Milo's apparently 7.1 seconds behind Stark. Well, either I'm from Uzbekistan or the FIA new guide dogs, because that's just not true. At least the gaps here are updating themselves. Terziak is reeling in Maximus. Up into P6 now as Pathyman finally switched off those medium tyres, which were so fourth hand they've contracted crippling pneumonia. But luckily they have been disposed of, put in an infirmary, and new soft tyres are on his wagon. 2 seconds now the gap. Softs versus mediums and fresher softs versus slightly older mediums. That kind of exasperates and encapsulates just how powerful the tyre advantage is. Up at the front, Thanassi with a 6.8 second advantage. Milo with the advantage on Stark. Through he goes with DRS. I have absolutely no doubt. Into P3 goes the McLaren man, and surely not going for another podium. I tell you what, you'd love to see it. The McLaren man on the third step again, but he'd surely want more. Stark's not giving it up easy, though. Down the inside he goes. And has he gone too wide, though? Milo thinks about a switchback, but Stark does just enough to slam the anchors down and get the car stopped just in time. Giraffe has ignored the blue flags. He's got a 5-second time penalty. Naughty specimen. Pathyman is on the move, though, with those new soft tyres. Past King Didi he goes into P15. I'll be watching his crusade with bated breath. The battle will rage on, though. Actually, what I was going to say before all kinds of things ensued in Portimao once again, which is just a regular occurrence, as Milo looks to get a better exit than Stark. Through the final corner, someone called Rock and Roll Who has said, "Sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than any other competitor. Streamrise. There's a safety. Why is there a safety car? What has gone on? What has actually gone on? What did I miss? Who's had a skill issue? Own up. Who's done that? Well, with a safety car, that changes the complexion of everything. Stark and Milo onto fresh softs. Terziak onto fresh softs. And suddenly, it is not all it's cracked up to be. Terziak's left, though, for some reason. No idea why. But there you go. Suddenly, things get very interesting indeed. As Milo's left the set. Right, what's going on? Why has Milo left the session? Why is everyone leaving the session? Someone explain that to me. Have I disconnected from the session? Is that what's happened? Milo definitely has disconnected because he's driving like an AI. I'm pretty confident about that. I'm pretty sure Thanassi isn't. I'm trying to figure it out now. Have I disconnected from the session? Someone please tell me. I'm concerned now. Ever since freaking... What? The USA? No, I haven't. I definitely haven't. Thanassi's not driving like an AI at all, which is good to see. No, since the US Grand Prix, where I thought Slam had got victory, or whoever it was. Who was it? J-Lane. When I thought J-Lane had got victory, oh no, he hadn't. Slap that in my face. Shut up with my face, because he hadn't. Thanassi had won it again. On my screen, Slam had won, and he muscled his way through and defended extremely well. But there you go. Safety car. Jamie Tarquin's peeled it into the pits as well. The time delta is gone here. But he will have to get a move on. He will have to get him. Sorry, my throat blocked up. I don't know what on earth happened there. Let me take a swig of beverage. By that I mean water. There we go. With the blood plasma of Christ running through my veins. We now wait and see what on earth happens in this safety car period. Thanassi P1, Jamie Tarquin in P2, Stark 3rd, Maximus 4th, Vulcan 5th, Pathiman 6th, Millows in 7th. Why is why are they pit again? Lads, I don't think you wanted to pit, I'll be honest with you. Lads, I really don't think you wanted to pit. Especially not onto old mediums. You definitely did not want to do that. Their AI has screwed them over. Milo has left the session probably more out of rage than actually out of any kind of... I don't even know what anymore. He's going to be very disgruntled. That's all I can say. Him and Terziak. They're in the fight for big points. And Codemasters are code stinkers. And that's all you really need to know. So, Thanassi with the lead on 5-lap-old softs though. And a very hungry shark of Jamie Tarquin behind. He's become a milkshake before, but there'll be no more of a prime example and more pristine of a milkshake than if he could win the Portuguese Grand Prix from here. No idea what on earth happened to cause it. Doesn't matter the how. What's next is the why. And I don't know the why. So the next question is the when. And the when is when on earth will this safety car peel into the pits and we can get through some final laps of this race. I am looking on the Discord to see if anything has been said. The answer is no, it hasn't. But I can only assume there will be things I can't normally say on this broadcast. And by that I mean asterisks. And I'll let you piece together the rest. Lap 21 then, the Portuguese Grand Prix. A venue where in real life Formula 1 is only hosted at Portimao at least. Not including Estoril and others. It's only hosted the Portuguese Grand Prix twice. In 2020 it saw the first laps from heaven from Carlos Sainz and Kimi Raikkonen. In the end though it was Sir Lewis Hamilton, who I believe broke the win record that Michael Schumacher... Why has King Didi's crashed? King Didi has crashed. Oh dear. No, he hasn't, because he's moving again. Well, King Didi's out of this race. That's all I really know. Surely safety car is in on this lap. Yes, it is. Terziak, you can cut as many corners as you want. I don't think you're going to catch it, unfortunately. But the battle will heat up at the front. If you think the battling has been simmering for ages, put the kettle on, bring your water up to a boil, because we are in for a concoction of absolute chaos in these final 2 laps of Blackout Racing. Thanassi will pull the trigger, and when he does, Jamie Tarquin will be waiting with great anticipation as to when he'll pull the trigger. The answer is now. Out of the final corner, away goes Thanassi. Jamie Tarquin will be in hot pursuit, and we are racing again here at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Thanassi, your leader, with slightly older soft tyres though. And let's see what kind of defence he can put up. Immediately defending to the inside. Stark also with absolutely marvellous momentum. I was going to say monumental momentum, but there was too many monus in there. Immediately Jamie Tarquin applying so much pressure to the back of Thanassi. His spine's crying out for resuscitation. Defending very vigorously to the inside and chopping across again to try and take the racing line. It's going to have to be an example of defending, but he gets too happy on the power. Jamie Tarquin through into the lead of the Portuguese Grand Prix. What a move! What battling! What tenacity! What opportunity! Jamie Tarquin, he's herded up many good things in his life before. Cows, sheep, but listen, but none of them will be as good as this. As Thanassi sliding again. He's pushing so hard here. And all he can see is the hopes of victory slipping through his fingers and out of his grasp. It's heartbreak of the highest order. At least in his case, Terziak is nowhere near the points. So it will be a significant gain in the championship, but it's not the gain he'll probably feel like it should have been. As onto the last lap of the Grand Prix we go. Now he'll dump everything, surely, that he's got to offer. But with those older soft tyres, 5 laps older, what can he muster? As off the track he goes again. Vulcan and Magico, meanwhile, going side by side. Vulcan looked to have a measure on the Williams driver, but no, he goes extremely wide. Magico, do it for the power couple. He's not done it. And Buck 20's now getting involved. Look at this for battling on the last lap. Magico down the inside. He tried to, but Vulcan actually breaks extremely late. Look at the momentum of Buck 20. Through he goes into P8. What absolutely incredible racing and racecraft at the Portuguese Grand Prix. But this man's done it again. Feels like it's been a while since he won, and the answer is it has been, because we haven't done Blackout since, what, the 19th of December, 18th of December, whenever it was. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it's been a while since I've seen any Blackout Racing action, and the Portuguese Grand Prix, I'll tell you what, it has not disappointed. Thanassi led from start to finish, felt like it should have been his for the taking, but Jamie Tarquin is going to win the Portuguese Grand Prix. What an absolutely fantastic final couple of laps. What tenacity, what bravery, what commitment from the prancing horse as he gallops his way through. Has not made a fool of himself, that is for absolutely certain. What a performance from Jamie Tarquin. Whew, unbelievable stuff. Thanassi claims P2, Stark P3, Maximus P4. We'll run through the order in a second. My heart does go out. You do have to feel for Thanassi, surely. Looks like he had it done and dusted. But fate dealt him a cruel blow. He was past the pit lane. And for some reason, to be honest, he could have came in on that lap anyway when Jamie Tarquin did, but he didn't, and as a result, Aussie, oi, 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 he's done it. The Australian man turns everyone's heads and worlds upside down. It's a performance of sheer superlatives from pretty much the back of the field, where it was almost a last to first in the sprint for Thanassi. It is a last to first in the Grand Prix for Jamie Tarquin. And fairy tales aren't written much better than that. Although, it turns out Jamie Tarquin and Stark are twins. That is a revelation that I didn't see coming. But, main point scorer from this weekend will be Thanassi. And bearing in mind, because he got the fastest lap, he still gains 30 points from the race. Which means 38 points compared to 4 points for Terziak. I mean, well. You got to say, actually, it could pretty much be out of Terziak's grasp. It actually might be, you know. Well, if it was, I didn't crown it. I'll crown it at the next race, if I remember to. And Thanassi has a good race. But I'll let you do the mathematics. The answer is in the race, though. This is your order very quickly. Jamie, Zeus, Stark, Maximus, Magico, Big Sam, Dirk, Pathman, Milo, Slam, Buck 20, Raiden, Guardian, Vulcan, Terziak, Buck 57, Giraffe, and someone had a skill issue. I think it was King Didi. And that's the Portuguese Grand Prix. Well, there you go. What an absolutely sensational and rapturous return to Blackout Racing action at the Portuguese Grand Prix. And well, we're gonna have a little break now. As it turns out, there's going to be about 5 minutes worth of a break. So, for that reason, I will leave you with music. What a great race weekend. Well done to Thanassi for winning the sprint. Congratulations to Jamie Tarquin, your first race winner of the evening in the main event. And you definitely, if that was the Portuguese Grand Prix, you will not want to miss Japan. Right, everyone. Hello. I've decided I'm not. Music is good. Music is good. I will not deny that. But I've decided that while we are here having a little break, having some fun, that I'm going to do some gambling. But perhaps not the kind you had in mind. Ladies, and if you've ever played I hope you've all played Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS. If you do, you'll remember the minigames section. Especially, where is it? This thing here. This middle one, called Picture Poker. Yes, it could get very spicy indeed. There's some sound while we're at it. I've got 1,084 coins. It's Luigi doing the dealing. That sounds quite weird, but there you go. Right. So let's see what we're cooking with. And I just... Twitch, before you try and ban my live stream, this is not actual gambling. This is literally... Look, it's Luigi. It can't possibly be gambling. Right. Now that's cleared up. This hand is absolute dog mess. So we're gonna get rid... Mario's the highest one, so we're gonna get rid of all of them. And I see absolutely nothing that can go... It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong. There's only a pair. Luigi's gonna win, isn't he? You absolute piece of scum. You might be my favourite Mario Kart character, but you're not going to escape my wrath today, I'm telling you. Right. Oh, that's good. 3 of a kind. Right. Draw. Easy. Easy. We know what we're doing. Hit. You boss. Don't you dare win, because... Nintendo actually taught us from about age 3, gambling is bad, and this is how they did it. Star's the highest one, we're going for that. I see absolutely nothing that could go wrong here. It's gone wrong. It's only a pair. And Luigi's done his whole hand. Matt, you don't know what this is, Magic. Luigi, I will actually scalp you. Don't you freaking dare. This is, I'm not even kidding. This is Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS. And this is an actual minigame where you do poker, essentially. But not even Oh! That's good. 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind's the second strongest one. Easy. Suck on it, Luigi. You don't want it! So there's a bit too much passion in there. I got 32 coins. You see, husband, what I'm doing is I'm actually gaining money for us. 2 mushrooms. Get rid of them. Easy. Easy victory. Give me another... Oh, you know what? 2 pairs with a star. That's pretty good. All Luigi needs to do now... Suck on those melons, Luigi. You are nothing. You are nothing. You might be all dossed up in a wonderful suit, but you are nothing. 2 flowers. Star, I'm afraid. You gotta go, my friend. If you give me 2 stars now, and not 3, I'm gonna cry. It's 2 pairs again with Luigi. I'll take that. I will take that. Let's see what we... That's not gone well, I'll be honest with you. It's not as well as I thought it would have gone. But, we're not done yet. We have a minute until the next race. If this is what you were expecting from your Blackout Racing stream, then I question what normal League Racing streams you watch where people play Mario Brothers gambling. Oh, shit off. That's my cutters moment. Now that's a 24 stars. This is not ideal. Oh, 3 of a... You know what? I'm confident. 5 coins on your head top, sir. Have to marry... That's not quite what I asked for, I'll be honest with you. Right, you've dealt your whole hand. If you've got better than me, that's what I thought. Suck on that. How about that? 20 coins. You love to see it. 1,115 coins as we get... Oh, surely. Give me a full house for once, please. You nonce. You absolute nonce. Why would you do that? I still won. Ha! Have that, Luigi. You absolute mess. Right, I'm just checking we're not starting yet. The answer is not everyone's in yet. So, good news. Oh, bloody Nora. Oh, no, I didn't mean to keep the mushroom, you fat idiot. I'm not even fat. Why did I say that? I won, somehow. Nice. That's great. Thanks. Great success. So, back to it then. Oh, that's good. Get rid of the cloud, because that is absolute dog muck. That's not great either, I'll be honest with you. If you win after redealing your hand, it's rigged. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Luck of the draw is on my side now. 28 wins to the good. And that's not gone well. Get rid of them right now. Let's see what kind of madness we can... That's not quite what I had in mind. But, you know, there's a chance that we can win this... There's no chance we can win this now. I'll be honest with you. There's absolutely no chance. Check, we're not restarting. No, we are not. We get... Oh, 3 clouds. Give me 5 clouds and you'll be my boyfriend. No, you won't, actually, because I'm married. Nice try. I win. Take the L. You absolute bozo. That is a hefty amount of coinage. Let's go. Okay. Stop giving me dog mess. I don't want that. That's not gone well. That's really not gone. Please get junk. Just make my day. That's not made my day. That has not made my day at all, in fact. For those of you that are tuning in, welcome to the Blackout Racing League. If you're expecting some Formula 1, think again. This is not your traditional league racing series. We play Super Mario Brothers in between. You just gave me the same card. You cheating nuts! Sorry. Needs more JPEG. What do you mean it needs more JPEG? Oh. Come on. Give me 4. It's not what I meant. That's not what I meant, Luigi. I still won. How about that? How about that? Oh, of course, the amount of coins you get depends on the card level as well, doesn't it? Or does it? I think it does. I forgot, yeah. Oh, God, tell me about it. When was this one released? Was this 2005? 6? In many ways, we are blessed. I'm glad technology has come on, because otherwise, Luigi would look like a hexagon still. Hopefully we get more Luigi heads, though, as that's not quite what I had in mind, but, you know, it could be okay. Have you got any more pixels? The answer is I've got more coins. But now, Japan quali. Well, that was fun, everybody, but unfortunately, we're going to have to say... Shut up. We are back for more Blackout Racing League in Japan, and I need to probably turn off, firstly, my DS cam, and secondly, my standby screen. That would help. As we head into Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. What can we expect from the Japanese Grand Prix? Well, the answer is if there were AI in this race, we could expect nothing but pain and suffering because the AI are broken on Japan, in my opinion. Otherwise, we're going to see some lovely racing around an iconic F1 racing venue, and that is what I am looking forward to most. We have, I think, a couple less drivers than we had last time, for some reason. I don't know why. Terziak isn't here yet. I can't see him. Where has Terziak gone? Where has he gone? I have no idea. There's all the debates going in for whose fault it was. Terziak says the pit calls runs in the family of Jeffs. I must say I'd have to agree, because that was absolutely appalling. Welcome to the Blackout Racing League. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. Yes, it is. I'm going to get the full track map is already up. Let's get some lap data up. Who's going to be first out of the garage? The answer is you don't need to be a genius to figure out if you are a seasoned veteran of the Blackout Racing League. There's a Williams mechanic out of his garage, and Dirk. As I hiccup. Dirk is the first one out of the pit lane. And no, he's not. No, he's not. Guardian is. I slightly thrown my rhythm off, but surely Dirk will be one of the next ones to come out of the pit. No, he isn't. No, he is not. In fact, it's Buck 57, I think, that's next. There he is, in fact, behind the Red Bull of not my husband, of Big Sam, as Magico's gone inside of another man, which I find very hurtful. Pathyman coming out of the pit lane as well. Here we are then. Like I said, an absolutely historic venue on the F1 calendar. Home to many a championship win. Ayrton Senna in 1990, Michael Schumacher in 2000 and 2003. Home to Kimi Räikkönen's possibly greatest ever drive, from 17th on the grid to win in that mighty McLaren. Unfortunately, it was about as reliable as an 80-year-old's hip. So, there you go. As we're on for surely, according to the back wing of Guardian's car, a cracking qualifying, if you know what I'm saying. Through the left-handers, the spoon curve. There you go. If your spoon looks like that, I'd question how much LSD you've taken personally. Up towards 130 up. Super Formula recently, a massive crash there. And if you watch the wide shot of it, you see the car basically go towards, well, almost to Degna 1. It's ridiculous how heavy that impact was. Luckily, the safety of cars today means both drivers somehow walked away, which is quite unbelievable. Enough about the real-life talk, though. We are here for Blackout, and Guardian is the first man to get underway with a qualifying lap. Towards the first couple of corners then, slight banking. You want to hook it to the inside if you can. Guardian hooks it very to the inside, in fact. Uses a bit of the curb. And it's a nice sweeping run through the S section. Flick it in as much as you can. This is a yellow flag. It's just drivers boxing up and getting ready for the best exit and priming themselves for the perfect qualifying lap. Through the left-hander then. You get on the outside curb a little bit, not too much. It's very easy to lose the traction, it must be said. That's through Degner 1 and into Degner 2 goes the Williams driver, keeping it well within track limits, which is great to see. And through now towards the hairpin. Brake as late as you want. The camber actually does a lot of the work for you in terms of gripping the car, and then you can plant on the power and send it through the right-hander and into the spoon curve. Can he hit the apex? I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Through the second part, very close to the apex. That's actually a curb you definitely don't want to hit, because if you hook your car up on there, the answer is you're spat out into Tibet, I guess. As there's a Mercedes that's had a little problem. It's Slam that spun round. Oh, Nelly, that was very close there. As a Haas car was just starting. I think hopefully it was an outlap. Yes, it was. Luckily for Mr. Slam, Vulcan just starting an outlap. And so, all is well. Guardian, though, with the banker time of a 1 minute 29.3. Next up, it's Big Goat 229 to see what he can muster. Will it be a brilliant lap from Big Sam? The Goat puns are going to be out in full force. Across the line, it is P2 for the time being. 7/10 off Mr. Guardian. As into the pit lane comes Buck 57. Not happy with that lap time at all. And instead it will be Dirkleton to cross the line and can't beat his teammate. 12 thousandths in it. Magico can't beat any of the Williams, but he does beat, well, Pathiman's actually the man on the move. 1 minute 28.9. The first man to break into it. Buck 20 cannot do so. Where does the Ferrari man of Jamie Tarquin come? The answer is he doesn't, because that's disgusting. And secondly, because he hasn't even started a lap yet. So there you are. There's a Hats man on the move. Vulcan's all the way down towards 130R at that point. Seemed like just a moment ago, but Raiden was on a lap, but he has made the track. He's painted it red. Of the blood of his enemies, quite possibly, but also of the ire of the stewards, which is not good. So we'll have to regroup and go again for another lap soon. Stark's on a lap, though. Here he is. Just come through the first sector. Thanassi on a lap as well. It's a purple sector 1 for Stark. Very nice indeed. Through Degner 2. Flick it in. Use some curb, but not too much curb, because the car can bottom out on the exit of Degner 2. Into the hairpin. Camber doing the work, and that is very neatly done there. Towards the exit curve, the car shimmies about as he squirms on the power, but I'll tell you what, he's done very well there to dance his way out of that corner, and now in towards the spoon. Can he utilise the utensil corner to the best of his power? The answer is he utilises it pretty well. Uses a bit of the exit curb, again, keeping it well within the white lines. Perhaps trying to flog some slip. Definitely don't flog slipstream off that Red Bull. That was going to end terribly. It was Big Sam. If you tried doing slipstream off him, you'd find yourself out of qualifying, for lack of a better term. Into the Casio triangle, which looks nothing like a triangle. Jamie Tarkin with a 1 minute 27.5. My God, that's quick. Stark across the line into P2. 3/10 ahead of Pathiman. Very nice indeed. Thanassi's on a lap, though. Jamie Tarkin, though, absolutely monstrous lap there for the Ferrari man. A second ahead of anybody else so far, but remember, we have a Thanassi on the move and he's invalidated his lap. He's not moving anymore, let me tell you. Who else is on laps, though? We have the Mercedes drivers on laps and Mr. Raiden. Through 130R, flick the car in. I mean, with how downforce heavy these cars are, sucking themselves into the surface. There's no reason why they can't go flat out through 130R, as Raiden is not happy with that lap whatsoever. And he curtails his lap time. Let's put it that way. Oh, no! Jamie Tarkin with front wing damage. What on earth's happened there? Sometime going into the hairpin, actually. A spin through the right-hander. That's very strange. But Slam and Giraffe are 9th and 11th, respectively.